From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father and his child. Every driver, heart aflame, and adrenaline runs wild. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. To be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Trying to do our best. From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father and his child. Every driver, heart aflame, and adrenaline runs wild. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Full wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here from the beautiful USA International Speedway. As drivers have unloaded their dirt street stocks here, ready to get underway, getting ready to battle here this evening for what is going to be another amazing show, the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Circle Track Showdown. As each and every one of these drivers ready to duke it out, ready to go to battle out there on the racetrack. They're going to slide out here onto the speedway, a quick warm-up session, making sure that their cars are absolutely top-notch, that they are absolutely hooked up and ready to rumble here this evening. Is Justin Johnson. What's good, Justin? Justin coming in, showing the love with that heart reaction. Jeremy Vaughn coming in as well with the heart on the stream. Cody Ernest coming in with that share as we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. We're going to get ready to go to green flag racing in just a little bit, which is going to be a ton of fun to watch these drivers duke it out, go to battle, see who can put themselves up and in to victory lane here this evening for another edition of the Circle Track Showdown. We do see Shane Matthews out there as well in the You're Not My Dad number 5 ride. We do see Lane Riley out there as well. There's Lane Riley in that 36 ride. T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, his beautiful Jurassic Shark DWR ride slides out there onto the speedway. Noah Carpenter looking fast as well in that beautiful Scott Bloomquist inspired paint scheme here as that 0 ride ready to rumble here this evening. He'll be looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane as we do see Jeremy Sexton out there on the racetrack as well. Jeremy had a quick time there in qualifying. Hargraves there in position number 2 as of right now, second fastest in this warm-up session. He's got Tyson Pankow not too far in front of him. Going to see Pancakes back out there onto the racetrack as Tyson gets ready to rumble here today. It's good to see Pancake out there onto the racetrack. We do see the 92 ride. That is Brandon Smith out on the racetrack. We got Tyler Ryan back out there as well as Jack Uwaley, Stephen Barrow there in position number 12. We see Cody Ernest out there as well. The beautiful TNT Racing number 88 ride ready to rumble, ready to go to battle here this evening is my boy Justin. What in the world, Mr. Justin Johnson says, good to see you, brother. Good to see you as well, Justin. How are you, mister? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful, wonderful week so far. It's hump day. We're halfway through the work week, almost to that weekend. And, man, we got some big plans for this weekend. Man, a little bit of golfing. We got some 36 holes or something to do. I think Saturday or Sunday, something like that. We'll probably try to get out maybe tomorrow afternoon or Friday afternoon as well, maybe for a quick game of golf as well. Gonna enjoy that. The heat in the summertime will last up here in Canada before it is gone, because it's not too long before we're gonna start seeing snow on the ground again, and I'm gonna be sad to not see me out golfing. So we gotta take advantage of that nice warm weather. Unfortunately, we do need a lot of rain. We need a lot of rain out there. It has been dry, dry, dry all summer long, and that has sucked. As Dave Morgan, what's good, Dave? Dave coming in with that heart reaction as well, says, let's go Sextons. Cheered on all the Sextons here this evening. How are you, Dave? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. Tim the Toolman Taylor, what's good, Timmy? Timmy coming in, showing the love. Says, Aaron, my man, what's good, Tim? How are you, mister? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day, and hopefully you're ready to play here this evening as we do see them at USA Speed Shop number 61. Right at David Anderson out there on the racetrack. There's Derek Rice and his Sexton paint and body number 357 ready to rumble here today. Marcos Pace out there in his beautiful Doug House chassis ride, ready to rumble out there on the speedway. A lot of fast cats, a lot of good drivers. Once again, loaded into the sim, looking to try to pick up a win here this evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a big racetrack. It's a fairly wide racetrack where we're going to see a lot of different lanes going to be laid out. We're going to see a lot of different drivers try to find some different grooves, and I think one of those drivers we're going to be looking at to potentially have a run here and move himself up and into victory lane, or potentially within striking distance, is that 18 rider Kyle Surratt. And I thought Jeremy Sexton qualified on the pole, but it looks like the coach, Kyle Surratt, putting himself onto the pole here this evening. So the coach will start in position number 1 here today. Great starting spot there for the JP Design 09 laser engraving number 18 machine, as Surratt will start there in the top spot. To his outside in the Doghouse Chassis, Gage Farms, Sexton Paint and Body, Cocky Floyd Consulting 2020 ride. That is Jeremy Sexton. Starting in position number 3 in the Scott Bloomquist-inspired number 18 ride. That is the ride of Noah Carpenter. As Carpenter, I'm not sure, it looks like he's looking that car back down pit road. As to his outside will be this 33 ride. That is the Ellington Construction Company, LLC. The Quality Lawn Care Service 5.6 graphics ride. The TNT Racing Machine. That is James Ellington starting there in 4th. Starting in the 5th position, it is the Dirt Track Junkies Bulletproof Motorsports 09 engraving number 91 of Tyson Pankow. To his outside, the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Jurassic Shark. That is the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. Starting in position number 7 in the 8 ride is the Team No Love Machine. That is the 8 ride of Mr. Jeremy Vaughn. To his outside will be the 22. It is Joshua Ledoux in the Valvoline Machine here this evening, starting there in 8th. And then we see Jeremy Sexton taking an EOL. Looks like he's going to start at the back of the pack here this evening, which will move Jackie Whaley up a little bit. It'll also move Lane Riley, and we did see one driver run into Jeremy Sexton right here. It looked like 2 Jeremy Sexton rides, I'm not going to lie. Let me take a look here. I'm not sure if that was Philip Sexton that ran into him. Who the heck did that? Okay, there we go. Yeah, it looks like Philip Sexton. I'm not sure what was going on here with Philip, but oh, looks like potentially his wheel disconnected or lost connection to the server. Nonetheless, the pair of Sexton rides not starting off well here this evening. Obviously, Jeremy going to the back of the pack here. Then obviously something going wrong here with Philip Sexton. He drives himself and his brother, cousin, son up and into the outside fence right there as well. So pretty good contact already. Phillips hooking his car right down pit side. That's a heartbreaker there for him. As we do take a look at the rest of the field, you see the 45 ride slow here on the back straightaway. Looks like Stephen Barreau gonna wait for everybody to kind of catch up right there, and he'll get ready to rumble from back in the 20th position, as we do see Lane Riley, Jackie Whaley, Cody Ernest, Russell DeVille back here in the 21 ride, Ryan Howard, David Anderson, Brandon Smith back there in 13th, Sexton now down pit side, Stephen Barreau back there in 13th, and then we're missing Sexton, Brandon Smith. Carpenter is off the racetrack now as well. We got Hargreaves down pit side. Derek Rice just trying to get rolling out there on the racetrack as well. Actually looks like he's off the speedway. Looks like a bunch of drivers have had issues here. Ryan down pit side. We see Cody McDonald, Philip Sexton. There's a lot of drivers. I don't know if this server has crashed or what may have happened, but nonetheless, we see that green flag fly, and here we go. The coach, Kyle Surratt, out in front, gets a great launch, able to clear James Ellington as Jim's resetting to another race. He forgot about fuel. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is, the fuel. New lobby going up. Okay, there we go. I was wondering what was going on there. I was like, why is there so many people backing out of this race? This is insane. This is crazy. What is going on? All right, not enough fuel. Well, that was just, I think that's more of a skill issue, guys. I think that's more of a skill issue, not a fuel issue. That's a skill issue. You guys should have been able to save enough fuel. Why couldn't you save enough fuel, guys? Someone should have been able to do it. Someone should have been able to do it. I don't know why. I don't know why you weren't able to. Sucks to be you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But you do see Surratt stopped here on the track. Caution flag is out on the racetrack, as we are going to get everyone Ready to rumble into the next session, but as that's getting created, we can take a little look-see-poo here and watch a little bit of this battle, as we do see Surratt still looking good here at the front of the field. Ellington there in second. Tyson Pigcow, Joshua Ledoux, Cody Ernest out there on the speedway still, all waiting for this next labby to be laid down. As Tim says, 40 laps. It was only 40 laps of fuel. You could have stretched it. You could have stretched it. A little drafting out there. Well, what someone should have been smart. It should have been teamwork. You know, couple guys on one team push one car while he's just got the car turned off, and then after 20 or 30 laps, when you get enough fuel into the first car, then one car, then you can get your start it back up and then run your race. But just keep the car turned off and let your teammates push you for the first 25, 30 laps of this race, and then bam, there we go. We would have been good to go. We would have had, and it would have been teamwork. It would have been bump drafting and teamwork out there on the racetrack to figure out who could win this race. I'm just jostling with you. It is what it is. It happens. Not always can be perfect, but we'll see if these guys want to keep on racing here a little bit. I know they're probably hungry to get a little bit. Tim says, you'll need to find another server. Yeah, I'll find the other server here in a little bit. Just let me know when it's up, because I'm sure it's going to take good old Jimbo a couple minutes there to get that all set up and everything else and figured out. It'll be tough for him to try to make it. I guess he can just get everyone to jump in there, and then if everyone does jump in, just kick the guys that didn't qualify, I suppose. Something like that that we could do. Nonetheless, here we go. In this race, we're back to green flag racing. We might better just call this a 20-lap race right here for these guys until the next server is up and rolling. So Kyle Surratt out in front, looking to try to hold these guys off as they're 3 wide. Down and out of core number 2 is here comes Tyson Pigcow. Pancake trying to get his Dirt Track Junkies JP Designs ride up towards the front of the field here, as that pair of Bulletproof Motorsports machines looking good here at USA International Speedways. Here we go as T-Jack says another shot at qualifying. Oh no, you don't want that. In here, laugh it loud. Is the new server already up? But I have no teammates to push me. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Jeremy, I don't know, brother. And you just have to try to lock up with other guys that don't have teammates, I guess. Is what's good, Kev? What's good, brother? Says, what's up? And laugh it loud. Never saw that one before. Peacemaker is just the GOAT. He can make the fuel last. I mean, I would have been able to do it. I would have been able to make the fuel last. Without a doubt, chat. Without a doubt, I would have made the fuel last. It would have been no problem here for me. But luckily enough for these guys, I'm not out there racing against them. They got me up in the booth. That's why I'm a broadcaster. I was too good at racing myself, so I had to step away from it and jump up into the booth, or else no one would win another race in the dirt scene. So I had to step away from the dirt action. I had to step away from the from the steering wheel and jump up into the booth and allow these other guys to get some wins. I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm fairly humble as well, but yeah, I was the best that there ever was. No doubt about it. But I was so good at the racing aspect of iRacing that I had to give that up and come to broadcast to become the best broadcaster there is as well. So, you got to just be the best at everything. So we had to take that opportunity. What's good, Russ? Russ coming in, showing the love. Thomas Dennis as well with the likes on the stream. Mr. William Hargreaves coming in as well with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. Playford Cheats also coming in with the like on the stream. How are you, Playford Cheats? Hopefully you guys are having yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll get ready to battle here again. We'll get ready to set these guys up for the next session. We'll wait for that to be created. We'll wait for that to get rolling, and then we'll jump in there and then get another race underway here. We'll have to potentially go through qualifying again, potentially a little bit of a warm-up, and then into our 65-lap A-Main feature event. But fuel being an issue, obviously fuel being a problem, this race, she is over, and I do believe we're going to probably see the next server be up here in just a couple more moments as Taylor Pratt. What's good, Pratt? Or Taylor coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. Just Viv also coming in, showing the love with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Viv, coming in, showing the love here in this one as... All right, well, new session, I do believe, is being created. We should get an opportunity here in just a little bit. Slide out there as there's the Dirt Warrior Racing League to give us a heads up right there. New server going up. Fuel reset. Okay, I like it. Next session is up. That's what we need to see, chat. That's what we need to see. All right, well, this racing action is now come and gone. We're not going to save that because we don't need to save that. Nothing there. Okay, let's see if we can get another one here from Jimbo. Let's redraw from this. Redraw. Withdrawal. Withdrawal. There's a new one. Spectate. All right. We're coming. We're getting in there, chat. We're getting in there. We're getting in there like swimwear. Getting ready to what these drivers can do. See what they can get done out there on the racetrack. We already got majority of the field loaded in, ready to try and win here today as each and every one of these drivers getting ready to bounce out there onto the racetrack. Now, thing is, they're going to have to be cautious here, make sure they keep the drivers that have probably already qualified, unless if they just allow us to re-qual. I don't know. There's going to be, honestly, new drivers that are going to try to get in there. I don't feel Daniel Burton was in there before, or Travis Wickstorm. I think I saw him in there in that other session as well. So there's a couple drivers that we'll have to keep an eye on. Try to keep this just the originals that may have already qualified and just let them qualify only here this evening and kind of reset the stage. But for some drivers that got a bad qualifying effort, they can try to get that back up and going here. Maybe get another big qualifying session in and see if they can set themselves up for a better run and a better starting spot out there on the racetrack. All right, we'll wait for them all to kind of slide into the sim here. Each and every one of them going to be trying to jump in there, making sure that their cars are ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go duke it out here once again in just a little bit. As this is going to be a lot of fun. This could be very, very interesting as Hayes Kev says Matthew Wood is scared of Peacemaker. That's how dangerous he is. I could agree with that one, Kev. I could agree with that one, mister. Yeah, Matthew Wood, he's definitely, that's why there's an S on the end of my name, because when he sees me, he sees more than me. It's not singular, it's multiple, you know. It's Woods, not Wood, you know. So Matthew's definitely shaking in his boots if I got out there on the racetrack. He's just lucky that I hung him up before he got to know how good the old Peacemaker was there on the sim. But nonetheless, drivers out there on the racetrack, they're getting their a little bit of a warm-up session in. They'll get ready to go to battle here once again, and we'll see how quickly this moves along. We should get a lot of these drivers loaded back in here rather quickly, so things should move fairly fast out there on the speedway, getting everyone kind of back into the server, back accumulated with the racing action here this evening, and we'll get them ready to rumble, ready to roll here in just a couple more moments. So it's going to be a lot of fun, going to be interesting to see, and it's definitely giving drivers a lot of extra opportunities to work on their race cars, make sure that they're set up perfectly out there on the racetrack, not wanting to make any mistakes, or trying to make sure they got the right setups in, and obviously giving them that extra little bit of time here for a warm-up and extra time for you know, pretty much everything here this evening to kind of get everything. Sounds like you need a nap. I definitely need a nap. I definitely need a nap. I was out in the sun all day today working. It was up early, and I don't sleep at all, so I was up super late and then up super early. And yeah, your boy's feeling it right now. Your boy's feeling it right now, especially with the little bit of downtime here with this other race going. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see kind of who's going to be able to put themselves into good position here this evening as we see Evan Monaghan. What's good, Evan? Evan coming in, setting it off, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast. How are you, Evan? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. Man, it's a beautiful 357 ride. I love the little snake on there, a little rattlesnake or a dinosaur or something like that on that door panel of that number 357 ride. Fresh looking machine though out there on the speedway for the Sexton Paint and Body ride. But all these drivers, man, they're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to go to battle as it's the Matthews 5-star Flooring LLC. Number 5 machine out there. The You're Not My Dad ride. The You're Not My Dad. If I was racing, I would be your dad. Unfortunately, Matthew, I would be your dad if I was out there on the racetrack in that 5 ride. I'd be all these guys' daddies out there on the speedways. Brandon Van Houten, what's good, Brandon? How are you, Van Houten? Van Houten coming in, showing the love here in this one as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll in just a few more moments. We'll get a quick break in. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom, and then we'll get ready to rumble here in just a little bit. As Evan says, can't make it tonight, heading out to a moto event this weekend. Get at it, fellas. Yes, sir. Against Sirski. Well, they're going to get after it, that's for certain. And, man, hopefully you have a great time. Be safe. Be happy. Enjoy the moto event, and hopefully, you know, bring home a trophy if you're racing. If not, enjoy the racing action in front of you and enjoy. And hopefully everyone there on the track is nice and safe as well. Here we go. We are going to get another qualifying effort in, so drivers will get an opportunity here to qualify once again. We're going to get a quick break in. I'm going to go pee, and we'll let you guys experience some of the qualifying action here this evening with the Dirt Warrior Racing League Circle Track Showdown here from USA International Speedways. Each and every one of these drivers getting ready to try to size up a good lap here, trying to put themselves into a good position out there on the speedways. We'll be right back in just a couple more moments.
Trying to do our best. From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father and his child. Every driver, heart aflame, and adrenaline runs wild. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground.
Alrighty, it's qualifying quickly coming to a close here this evening as each and every driver getting their laps in here once again as our second session getting completed here in a quick hurry. So things are moving along and we're inching closer and closer to the checkered flag here of our qualifying and potentially our warm-up session as well. We'll have to wait and see how quickly they move through that qualifying session, as I know the drivers, they're getting antsy. They want to see a absolutely amazing run, amazing race here, and obviously wanting to get right into the action right now. So we'll have to wait just a little bit longer and see what they can do here in just a few, as each and every competitor ready to rock and roll, ready to Rumble. As qualifying is about to come to a close, we will get ready to see that green flag fly in just a short time as drivers getting their final qualifying laps in. And right now, we do see Kyle Surratt. He qualified on the pole for the first session here. This time, though, not as lucky, and Surratt will qualify in position number 2 as T-Jack Tyler Jackson. He talked about potentially trying to be that fast cat here in qualifying. Did not get it done in the first server. Now with the second server, T-Jack able to lay down a blazing fast lap time and put himself up and into the top spot. So a great run right there for Tyler Jackson, and now we'll get to see him and Surratt Tyson Pankow duke it out a little bit earlier here this evening as warm-up session is going to get underway. We'll have to wait and see if Jim and the rest of the guys decide to skip this, make it go a little quicker here, and get right into our feature event this evening. Is Connor New? How do you do, Mr. New? Connor coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. John Belando coming in, showing the love as well with that heart reaction. How are you, John? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful hump day here today as each and every one of these drivers, all these competitors, ready to go to battle, ready to dice things up here at USA International Speedway as it's our Circle Track Showdown here this evening with the Dirt Warrior Racing League. And for each and every competitor out there on the racetrack, what it would mean to pick up a win here this evening, man, is going to be a lot of fun to see because there's a lot of fast cats. There's a ton of talented drivers, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of how they're able to navigate themselves through the field. As you do see Jeremy Sexton back out there. He qualified in that 4th position. He's looking for a big run here this evening. Marcos Pace out there. We see Philip Sexton, Jeremy Vaughn back out on the track as well as here comes Vaughn right there in that Team No Love number 8 ride, strolling back out there onto the speedway. The Grip Acme Live machine jumps out there onto the track. We did see that the other 8 ride. That was the machine of Mr. Where is he? I could have sworn we saw Tyler Jackson jump out there onto the racetrack. Maybe we didn't. I thought we did, but maybe not. But nonetheless, you see Tyson Pankow out there. Always great to see the Bulletproof Motorsports guys in attendance here. And again, seeing the Dirt Track Junkies, Bulletproof Motorsports 09 laser engraving ride of Tyson Pankow out there onto the racetrack. There's Jackson Murad there in the Jegs 00 ride, or 07 ride out there onto the racetrack. Brandon Smith there in his 92 machine, looking fresh out there on the racetrack. Slides it down into corner number 1. Here comes Noah Carpenter. Looking for a big run here and a great qualifying session in that first session. We'll have to wait and see kind of where he gets lined up here for this second run here this evening, as we did see Lane O'Reilly get a little piece of the outside fence right there, inside fence, and a lot of fast cats, a lot of good drivers. Tim the Toolman Taylor out there in his TNT racing ride, ready to go to Rumble here this evening. We see the 7 of Mr. Jeremy Akins out there. Good to see Akins, as always, out there on the racetrack, ready to go to duke it out here in this one. David Anderson, William Klein. Good to see Will out there as well in his Dirt Track Junkies, Bulletproof Motorsports 09 engraving ride as he slides out there on the racetrack. Another beautiful paint scheme there for the Dirt Track Junkie machines here on the evening. Shane Matthews out there in the 5 ride. Then we see William Hargreaves. Good to see William out there in his DWR Dirt Panda number 71 machine, ready to dig here this evening, try to put himself up into victory lane. We do see the 11 of Kyle Moyer out there on the racetrack. A lot of very, very good drivers. A lot of fast cats here in attendance, ready to duke it out. We got a lot of drivers that have yet to even take a lap here in this warm-up session, but nonetheless, this warm-up is going to come to a close here in a quick hurry, so we should see these drivers get ready to battle, get ready to duke it out. 65 laps of racing action here this evening for our feature event, so 65 laps to allow these drivers to settle it out there on the racetrack. We could see some caution flags. We could see it stay clean and green and just some non-stop great battling out there on the racetrack, or we could see things get a little bit hairy and scary out there on the speedway. Could see a lot of calamities, a lot of cautions, and a lot of chaos out there on the racetrack. So we'll have to wait and see who's able to survive, who's able to drive and put themselves up and into the winning position here late in this race. 65 laps around Lakeland here, around the USA International Speedway, man. It is no easy task, especially as these guys continue to roll laps. They continue to kind of, work this racetrack in. It's going to continue to get slicker and slicker and slicker, and probably about 20, 30 laps into this race, we're really going to see this track start to take form, start to take shape, and really start to slick off out there on the racetrack, which could make it very difficult for some drivers that may go a little too hard too early and then later on pay that price, especially through that slick stuff, as their tires are falling off and they're starting to slide backwards, and that's where frustrations come in. That's where drivers drive over their heads, make contact, may have issues, and could make a world of hurt for a lot of drivers. We do see Cody McCoy in attendance as well. Good to see Cody out there. The Healthton Gaming number 13 machine jumps out there onto the racetrack. Good to see Cody out there on the Speedway. Not very often we get to see Cody out there on the racetrack, but here tonight, looking to represent that Healthton Gaming ride, the main motorsports machine. Back there right now, currently inside the top 10 for quick times here in this warm-up session. Klein right there behind him as there we go. Warm-up coming to a close. Checker flag is out, and that means we will get them ready to rumble here as our main feature event about to get underway. And for these drivers, that means it is game time. It is time to shine. It is time to put yourself into a winning strategy, a winning groove here today to try to put yourself up and into victory lane. It could get very, very interesting in a quick hurry here this evening for a lot of these drivers. We do see some of them starting to load into the sim here. Some of them getting ready to rumble as Tyler Jackson will start in that pole position. So T-Jack starting in the top spot. To his outside will be this 18 ride, the 09 laser engraving. JP Designs number 18. That is Kyle Surratt. There you see the 8 ride, the Jurassic Shark machine of Tyler Jackson, our pole sitter. Behind him in the Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies number 91 ride, that is Tyson Pankow. To his outside, the Sexton Paint and Body Gage Farms Cocky Floyd Consulting ride, it's Jeremy Sexton. Starting in position number 5 in the 47, it's Marco's Pace and his Cocky Floyd Consulting ride. Then we see the number 88 of Cody Ernest and his TNT Racing ride there in 6. The Team No Love number 8 of Jeremy Vaughn will start in position number 7. To his outside will be the, I believe it is the 42. No, it's the 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. It looks like Whaley and a lot of these drivers in that outside groove able to move up a spot, as I do believe, again, taking that EOL and going to the back of the pack is Jeremy Sexton. So there's Sexton in his 2020 ride falling to the rear of the field. And so here we go. We will go back throughout the rest of the field as we do see William Hargreaves up there. Hargreaves getting ready to rumble as Noah Carpenter down to his inside. James Ellington there rounding out our top 10. Tim Taylor, Philip Sexton, Jeremy Akins, Brandon Smith, Jackson Murad there in the 15th position. Cody McDonald, William Klein, Shane Matthews back there in 18th. Then we see Jacob Bailey and Jim Rivas rounding out our top 20 out there on the racetrack. Derek Rice, Stephen Burrow, Lane Riley, Ryan Howard, Cody McCoy, Kyle Moyer, and then Jeremy Sexton and the number 61 of David Anderson bringing up the rear of the field here as 28 drivers ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here this evening as Nicholas Merkley. What's good, Slick Nick? Nicholas coming in, showing the love. What's good, Nick? How are you, brother? How you doing this evening? Mr. King as well coming in with that like on the stream. What is good, Mr. King says, made it in time. Good to be here before the race starts. Laugh out loud. And well, here you go as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here this evening as the 8 rider Tyler Jackson out in front looking to try to run away with it. As Tyler Jackson has the race lead, they're all trying to navigate their way around the racetrack, but we will see the caution flag come out here. Opening lap yellow flag here this evening, and that is a no-go here this evening. Never like to see a early race caution flag, but we'll take a look back at it as it looks like Shane Matthews Actually running into some issues here. Matthew sends it into the corner. Does he get some help? Oh, there's some help in front of him. Look out, a pile up. Upside down goes Philip Sexton. Sexton upside down, the 92 parked up on the wall, and we get a red flag out there on the racetrack. Red flag, red flag. Everybody come to a stop. Oh, man, that was a big, big hit right there for the 20 ride. The Cocky Floyd Consulting Machine here as he goes for a wild ride down in corner number 1. Not the way Philip Sexton wanted his day to get started, but let's see if we can get another look at it here. There's Philip headed into the corner. Looks like the 07 just gets in there a little too far. Unfortunate break right there as that 07 sends it in there. I'm not even sure who the 07 ride even is. I don't even know who is the 07, chat. Who is that? It's Jackson Murand out there on the speedway as Jackson's just going to send it in there a little too deep. Gets into the back end of the 2020 ride. That's what gets the 2020 slideways there on the racetrack, and then they all just pile into him here. That is a tough, tough break right there. As man, that is a heartbreaker. As my boy Nicholas Motherfluffin Merkley. What's good, Nick? Nick coming in, showing the love with the 500-star donation. Are you kidding me? The big D of the day going to Nicholas Merkley. The big donation of the day. The big D, massive D from our boy Mr. Merkley here this evening, coming in, showing the big love here. And this one says, good, you brother, I am always doing good, Nick. I'm always doing good, brother. Whenever we're up here in the booth, you know we're doing good, my boy. You know we're always doing good when we're up here in the booth. But let's take another look at this one, see what happens here. As this was a crazy turn of events. There's the contact, slideways, and then here comes the 92, here comes the 5, here comes the 57, the 45. They all just keep on piling in there, and unfortunately, 20 ride ends up onto his lid right there. Not a fun ride here this evening at USA International Speedway for Mr. Phillip. As man, he's going for a bit of a cruise here, man. This is a tough, tough spot to be early on. Lap number 1, first corner, contact, around he goes, and doesn't even make it into corner number 2 before this car ends up digging in and going upside down right there for the 92. Parked up on that outside fence, as well as a few other drivers getting some contact and a little damage there as well. But here we go, back to green flag racing. Green flag quickly back out into the air as the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson sees that green flag fly. So T-Jack quickly back onto the loud pedal as the Jurassic Shark ride looking to try to run away with it here, trying to put himself up and into victory lane. But he's got a lot of hungry cats back there behind him, and one of them being that 18 ride of Kyle Surratt. Last season, we saw Surratt pick up a big win here at USA International Speedway. It seems like Surratt's kind of got a different line that he's found out there on the Speedway, especially later in these races, and he's just able to use it to his absolute perfection out there and just run some very, very fast lap times late in these runs. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out for him. It's right in front of our race leaders. That is the 20 ride of Philip Sexton here. Sexton just trying to keep himself on the lead lap. Luckily enough, was able to get that car towed down pit side, got it repaired, and got it back out there on the racetrack before going to lap down before the green flag came back out. But he's very much at risk of going to lap down out there on the speedway if he does not get a move on, as our race leaders right there behind him all looking to try to put him a lap down here this evening. And luckily enough, he may be able to stay in that free pass position, as I do believe Brandon Smith not as lucky. He has went a lap down, and actually, no, I do believe now Philip Sexton has shown Sexton is a lap down out there as well on the racetrack. So not as lucky as I thought they were. iRacing was lying to us there for a little bit before they kind of got things changed around, and does look like he is a lap down. As there you go, T-Jack out in front, Tyler Jackson leading the way. The Dirt Warrior Racing League ride out in front, but missed the bottom there a little bit. Washes up to the high side, but you can already see this racetrack starting to change a little bit, starting to widen out. Drivers starting to feel a little bit more curious here about what that outside or middle lane's got to offer, so they're starting to move around, trying to find some different grooves, looking for some speed out there on the racetrack. And for T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, he's just looking to try to kind of break that draft off his back bumper, hoping that he can get a big enough run where he can try to pull away from Surratt and be able to just kind of run away with this one. But right now, that little bit of draft that you get out of these straightaways, keeping that 18 rider right there within striking distance. Pankow right there as well. Marcos Marco's Pace back there in position number 4 as Cody Ernest there in 5th. Good run here for Cody this evening as the TNT Racing ride says, you know what, I want that 4th spot back. Works back down to the inside of that 47 ride. They'll continue to duke it out here for that 4th position as Jackie Whaley, Jeremy Vaughn there in 7th and 8th. Noah Carpenter trying to work his way up towards the top 5 out there on the racetrack as Carpenter will jump down to the inside here underneath of Jeremy Vaughn, looking for a big run as here comes Hargreaves as well. Hargreaves right there is the Dirt Panda Dirt Warrior Racing League ride up and into position number 9. James Ellington there in 10th. So a few drivers slowly but surely working their way to the front of the field. As Tim Taylor there in 11th. Jacob Bailey, William Klein, our top 13 with Cody McDonald, Jeremy Akins, Lane Riley back there in 16th. We see Ryan Howard there in 17th. We see Derek Rice, Jeremy Sexton, Kyle Moyer rounding out our top 20. Shane Matthews back in 21st. Cody McCoy there in 22nd. Stephen Barreau, the 61 of David Anderson, and Jackson Morand rounding out our top 25 as Jim Rivas back there in 26. And we see Brandon Smith and Philip Sexton. Unfortunately here for Sexton, even worse news is that Brandon Smith, he is only 1 lap down. So if we do get another caution flag, Brandon should get the lucky dog, the free pass before Philip will get one. Now for the 20 ride, he can try to hopefully get a couple more quick caution flags and get those laps back. But the more and more we keep running green flag laps, the more at risk we are to put more drivers a lap down and continue to put him farther and farther into the hole out there on the speedway. And for Philip Sexton, not a fun spot to be right now, as he's not only trying to keep himself just 1 lap down or 2 laps down out there on the racetrack. Our race leader's right there with them, right on his back bumper, looking to try to put him another lap down. But there you go. Answers and prayers. The prayers have been answered here this evening. As let's take a look at it. Caution flag back out onto the racetrack here. Great break for a couple of those guys. You can see it right there. The 11 ride sideways on the racetrack. Look out for Kyle Moyer. I'm not sure what happens here to Moyer, but it looks like him and Cody McCoy get tied together here. Looks like the 11 trying to clear McCoy. McCoy was there, and unfortunately they just get kind of hooked together. McCoy doesn't really roll out of it until that 11 ride's already gotten loose and going around right there. See the 45 ride. I see Barreau getting some damage into it. A couple other drivers also getting tied up there, but luckily enough, everyone else able to stay out of it or keep their cars pointing the right direction as the yellow flag does get displayed, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as there's the 92 ride. Great break here. Great break for that 92. He was definitely looking for that wave around the free pass, the lucky dog to get himself back into the action. And for Brandon Smith, that will put him back on the lead lap here this evening. So a great break there for him. Is what's good, Mr. Fletchel? Matty, how are you, brother? Mr. Fletchel coming in, showing the love, dropping that heart reaction here on the broadcast. How are you, Matty? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day as we get ready to play here once again. We get ready to set them up and try to go back to green flag racing as only, I do believe, 11 or 12 laps down here on the day. So not a whole lot of laps off the book. Still a lot of laps left to go. Still a lot of opportunities for drivers to work themselves towards the front or drivers that run into problems and fall farther back in the field. So you got to be very, very cautious, very careful out there on the speedway. Do not want to put yourself into a bad position where you may take yourself out of this battle, as we do see all these drivers getting ready to get lined back up here. They want to see the lights turn off. The official iRacing paint truck. They want to go back to battle here this evening. As out in front, it is Tyler Jackson with the race lead. Kyle Surratt was right there with them in position number 2. Marco's Pace up into that 4th spot as you see down to his inside. Our 3rd place driver, the beautiful Dirt Track Junkies, Bulletproof Motorsports, 09 Engraving Machine, the 91 ride. That is Tyson Pankow up and into 3rd. We do see the 88 of Cody Ernest hanging on to position number 5 as well. Great run so far for that TNT Racing ride of Cody Ernest here today. He's got Jackie Whaley there to his outside. Then we see Noah Carpenter up and into 7th. Jeremy Vaughn back to 8th. And then we see William Hargreaves and James Ellington there in 9th and 10th on the racetrack as lights are off. And we'll get ready to go back to battle. We'll get ready to set them back loose here as Tyler Jackson leads us slowly but surely Down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. He will see that green flag fly. So the number 8 rider, Tyler Jackson, with a great restart. Looking to quickly try to clear that 18 rider, Kyle Surratt. Surratt, unfortunately, again, washed up a little bit high right there. But he's looking for a big run up and around the outside groove. Right in the rim for the 18. And it looks like it may put the coach out in front as Kyle Surratt makes the move and takes the race lead away from Tyler Jackson. The first time we've seen the race lead get taken away here this evening. T-Jack finally gets knocked down and into second as we see the caution flag come back out here in this one. Come on, fellas, clean her up. Clean her up here. Come on now. We did see quite a bit of issues back here with Stephen Barreau, and I do believe the 357 rider, Derek Rice. Let's take a look at it here as Rice a little farther in front of him, and I believe there was one car on his back bumper, and there you go. You see 07 stop there on the racetrack. 357 comes down the speedway right into the lap here. Steven just really nowhere for him to go out there on the racetrack. Just trying to get through there. All of a sudden, there's that 357. Ends up right into the driver's side door there. That was a big hit there for Stephen Barreau. But, man, that was a massive hit. Big hit there. And unfortunately, a bunch of tore-up race cars out there on the speedway. Let's take another look at it here as Derek Rice going to try to keep himself out of trouble, and unfortunately going to find quite a bit of it right about there. 07 just getting a big run on the outside lane. You know, you can be fast in the tacky stuff. You can be very good up there on that outside groove, especially with a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of good paint dirt up there, but you got to be good enough to be able to keep yourself under control and not driving over top other drivers here. And unfortunately, 07 just getting in there a little too hot and horny and makes the contact, stays foot in the throttle here until he's virtually hooked this 357 ride, and by that time it's already too late. Hooks him up into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for the 357 ride. Good damage for that 07, and watch this 45 ride. Bam! Right in that driver's side door. A little contact as well for the 92 ride, but nonetheless, we'll get them all back up together and ready to rumble again. We'll get another attempt at it and see if we can get another good set of laps in here this evening, as fuel was an issue with the first server. Fuel may be an issue here with this second server if we continue on this pace. These guys are definitely abusing some of that fuel mileage out there on the speedway. All these yellow flags, and obviously yellow flags not counting here to our lap counter. So unfortunately, just going to make this race a little bit longer here this evening. Just make it a little longer, a little bit more risk it for the brisket here in this race. So we'll get them all ready to go back to war, ready to duke it out here once again. Who do you guys think's got it? Do you guys think Surratt picks up another big win here at the USA International Speedway? Do you think potentially Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, gets it done, puts himself up and into victory lane? Could this be one of the races that we see potentially Marcos Pace or Tyson Pankow back up into victory lane, as we do see, you know, Jackie Whaley up there, Noah Carpenter, first time we saw Carpenter in a while out there on the racetrack, and Noah find his way up towards the front of the field. Maybe Jeremy Vaughn breaks through with a big dump here this evening. Hargreaves always so good at these style of racetracks. Could be a threat late in this race, as here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing, as Taylor says great racing, 100 stars. Not 100 stars, but if you want to send 100 stars, you can send 100 stars, but definitely some great racing, that is for certain. As here we go, back to green flag racing as Surratt sees that green flag fly. Kyle Surratt, the coach, gets that green flag back out into the air, looking to try to open up a bit of a gap between himself and T-Jack, as Tyler rolls there in that second position. Marcos Paints there in third, as here comes Noah Carpenter down to the inside, making some big moves in that Scott Bloomquist ride, going from the bottom side up to the top shelf here in corner number 3 and 4, hoping to carry that speed and momentum down the front straightaway back in to corner number 1, as they are side by side, continue to battle throughout the field. Everyone duking it out, everyone trying to find their way through the traffic, through some of the calamities and some of the chaos out there on the racetrack, as you see James Ellington trying to slide his way forward. You see the 99 of Tim Taylor, he's just trying to hang on here as he started up in the 11th position and now trying to work his way inside the top 10. the beautiful number 5 ride, William Klein, right there as well. Klein already up 5 spots out there on the racetrack. Jacob Bailey in the 511. He's up 9 positions here, so some big movers out there on the racetrack. And if you look a little farther back now with pit strategy and everything else in qualifying for the 4 ride, he is up 16 positions, but started just deep in this field, and he is up a lot of spots out there on the racetrack, so heck of a run for him. Jeremy Sexton, who started at the back of the pack, he's been slowly but surely chipping away at this race lead, and obviously trying to work his way through this traffic. Doesn't like to see that too wide and tight racing as of right now, but as we get these green flag runs moving and grooving out there, going to give him a little bit more of an opportunity, a little bit more of a run out there to try to lay down some good passes, make some moves, and try to makes his way up towards the front of the field as the 2020 ride rolls there in that 16th position. Shane Matthews back there in 17th. Jeremy Aikens there in 18th. Then we see Jim Rivas back in that 19th position. Kyle Moyer, Philip Sexton, we saw upside down. Does look like Philip was able to get a lucky dog or two there, and looks like Philip is back on the lead lap. So great break for the 20 ride as he'll get his beautiful doghouse chassis machine up towards the front of the field, looking to try to get a good day there with that 20 ride. It's Cody McCoy right behind him. Then we see Brandon Smith back there. Stephen Burrow, the number 357 of Derek Rice. He's got his car and that motor fixed up back out there onto the racetrack. Currently scored back in 25th. David Anderson there in 26 on the racetrack as he rolls in that 26th position. He's the last driver on the lead lap as Lane Riley and Jackson Morand have both taken their cars down and out of this race and off the racetrack here this evening. But out in front, it is the coach, Kyle Surratt. Surratt continuing to lead the way here in this one. Surratt out in front, showing the love, showing the way around here, man. He's been very, very good here. I don't know what's clicked with this 18 ride, but it seemed like a couple races ago we saw him here. He was able to find a groove, find a lane, and able to just kind of run some really, really fast laps right through that slick stuff here in this series. But we'll have to wait and see if he can do it again and take a look at the driver that's on the charge here. That 42, it's actually the 18 ride, the Scott Bloomquist paint scheme machine of Noah Carpenter. Carpenter rolling that outside lane, just got his foot to the throttle here. He is making some big moves and now getting around Tyson Pankow for that second spot on the racetrack. So this 18 ride of Noah Carpenter, man, he is moving and grooving, trying to race his way up towards the front of the field. And for the coach, Kyle Surratt, I don't know if he's going to even try to battle with it, if he's even going to try to duke it out here with that 18 ride. May just let him go, may let him have this spot as of right now, as he may be burning up his equipment, using up those tires, and slowly but surely just making this car weaker and weaker and weaker for the longer run of this race. And we still got a lot of laps left to go here. Still a ton of laps, still a lot of time for drivers to try to move forward or fall backwards or just try to keep themselves out of trouble. But we do get a new race leader as Noah Carpenter able to jump up, take that race lead away from the coach, Kyle Surratt, and put himself to the front of the field. So Noah Carpenter out in front, leading the way here at USA International Speedway. So the 42 to the point here this evening is what's good, Caboose. Caboose says, good evening, Peace. What's good, Caboose? How are you? Says, hope all is well. All is always well, Caboose. We're always doing good and happy to see you there in the chat cheering on some of these drivers and enjoying some great racing here this evening. And hopefully you're having yourself an absolutely epic Wednesday. Amazing hump day here this evening as, man, some great racing, some great battles out there on the racetrack. Everyone making moves here. A lot of drivers have been navigating their way up and through the traffic here with a little bit of ease. We now see Jacob Bailey up there. Bailey all over the back bumper there. Cody Ernest, he's another driver that's starting to use that outside groove here and really finding some great speed. But you take a look at some of these other drivers like Kyle Surratt, Tyson Pankow, the 47, and Marcos Pace. They're all starting to run a little bit of a different line out there, trying to stay glued to that bottom groove. And I think that's more of the logistical way around the racetrack, but that outside lane is just showing so much speed. It's gonna be tough to hang that off for quite a while here. I'm trying to keep these guys back there behind you, but we do see the caution flag come back out here. So yellow flag back out onto the racetrack. take a look at it. It looks like Steven and Jeremy Aikens potentially going to run into some problems. Take a look here as they're 3 wide right here, down and out of corner number 2, and it just looks like they're going to run out of room. I'm not sure if the 45 thought that 92 is going to keep up coming in front of them there or not, but get tied together right there. Unfortunately, Crew's going to have to try to separate them there. As let's take another look at this one, see if we can find another angle at it and see the contact here as the 7 gets a little bit run up the track right there, and that's what opens up the door for 3 wide. And then, yeah, it just looks like the 45 up the track a little too far. Probably thought he was maybe clear of that 7 right. Unfortunately, was not clear. And by the 7, realized he was going over his nose. There was really nothing he could do trying to get onto the binders there. These things just do not stop in a quick hurry. And unfortunately, with some pretty good damage, not only on the 45 Ryan, but also on the other car there as well, on the Aikens 7 machine. So some damaged race cars, some cars are going to need a little bit of work, a little bit of help, and trying to get themselves back into this race as we'll get them all ready to rumble here. Once again, race is not over. Still a lot of laps left to go. I do believe we have completed 26 laps of racing action, meaning we got virtually just under, I think, 40 laps left to go in this race, just under that. So still a lot of time. A lot of time to make mistakes, a lot of times to find some good gear or trying to figure something out setup-wise that can help you maybe navigate, make yourself a little bit better out there. Even if it's not for this race, maybe the next time we're here, if you get that little bit of extra setup tip from yourself, maybe it'll help you out enough to just set the tone early on in our next USA International Speedway race or any other racetrack that's kind of shaped like this one. There's not many of them, but there's definitely a few. So if you can kind of get that notepad out and write down kind of what changes you made to get the car feeling good and how you can navigate your way around the racetrack here. As here we go, stacking them up again, 2 by 2 by 2 here at USA International Speedways. Out in front, it's the 42. It is a beautiful looking ride. The Scott Bloomquist inspired paint scheme there of Noah Carpenter. Is Carpenter going to get ready to see the green flag come back out? So Carpenter down the back straightaway, got this field checked up, ready to try to get this thing back under control, trying to get this thing rolling here once again to see some more good laps being laid down out there on the racetrack as they head down into corner number 3. Slowly but surely. Down and out of corner number 4 as here we go. Back to green flag racing. Green flag back out into the air as the Bloomquist inspired ride gets a great launch right there. Looking to try to clear that 18 ride, knowing that he wants to try to keep Kyle Surratt back there at bay. But Surratt coming with a pretty good run down to the inside here. So is a Marco's pace, and they're going to look to try to use their run, their speed, and potentially a little of their own kind of bump draft out there, or side draft, or whatever you want to call it, to try to work themselves out in front. And there we go. You do see Surratt able to jump up, complete that pass, but it may not be done yet. It is not complete yet as that 42 bounces back with a great crossover and quickly right back in front of that 18 ride of the coach. And now here comes Surratt looking to try to do it all over again. You know he's got his Dirt Track Junkies Bulletproof Motorsports teammate in that 91 ride right there behind him. If they can clear that number 47 of Mr. Marco's pace, potentially those two Bulletproof Motorsports rides can try to work together and holding off that very beautiful 18 ride here this evening. As some absolutely amazing racing deeper in the pack. See some drivers just trying to hang on to it, as we do see Tyler Jackson all the way back into 7th now. We do see Jackie Whaley there in 9th, Vaughn in 10th. So I'm not sure what's happening to some of these drivers, or maybe they're just potentially trying to run the fuel or run tires differently here. That's probably what they're going to have to try to do, is try to run the tires a little bit differently here, hoping that the drivers in front of them may burn their stuff up, may give up their secrets here, and start to fall off the pace later in the night, where a lot of these other drivers trying to save those tires, trying to keep themselves alive a little bit longer, looking to try to battle their way through and maybe see that sunshine at the end of the tunnel. As here we go, seeing them duke it out here, still door to door, and you do see Jeremy Sexton, who had this tank in EOL, had to start at the back of the pack there for that 2020 ride. He is now getting his way back up into 12th here. He's just on the outside of the top 10 looking in. So heck of a drive there for Sexton, just able to pick and choose and battle his way through all the carnage, mayhem, and everything else, and put himself into a position to potentially have a good run here again this evening. As there we go, caution flag going to come back out. So another yellow flag here this evening. Oh, brother. let's take a look here. We do see the TNT Racing 45 ride run into problems. All right, so he kind of gets stopped on the racetrack there, as there was definitely problems in front of him, as I do believe that is Brandon P. Smith in the 82 ride. He's going to end up with some pretty good damage, but you do see Tim, the two-man Taylor, already kind of around right there. Tough break for Timmy, having a solid day, and it looks like it is the 5 ride right there of Matthews. Shane Matthews is going to get in there, gets a piece of him, kind of just jacks him up, knocks that rear end loose. Nowhere to go for Jim Rivas as Jim gets in there, gets a piece of him. Then you see the 92 just does not get checked up in time. The 13 ride of Cody McCoy trying to get stopped there, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Unfortunately, kind of got stuffed into the back end of the 99 and then up into the outside fence, and some pretty solid contact for a bunch of those drivers. Not the way that they wanted their Wednesday nights to go here. Obviously beating and banging, lots of battling, and a lot of tore up sheet metal out there on the speedway. So we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to do it again here. Another restart, another opportunity to try to gain a couple positions, to try to put yourself into a prime position out there on the racetrack, as Mr. Holler, yeah, everything's good now. Everything's good now, Appalachia. These drivers, they got enough fuel in the tank. We did do a server earlier where, unfortunately, that server, these drivers ended up with only about 40 laps of fuel in a 65-lap race. There was no way that they could have saved to get to the end of that race, so we had to reset the lobby, put the right amount of fuel in, so that way drivers didn't have to worry about that issue. And here we go. Already loaded in, already getting towards that halfway marker, and ready to see these drivers kind of duke it out here for the second half of this race to see who can put themselves up and into victory lane. As nice and easy down the back straightaway, slowing that pace down is that 42 ride of Noah Carpenter. As Carpenter with that race lead, Kyle Surratt there in second. Mr. Pankow in third, Marcos Pace and Cody Ernest still rounding out our top 5 as here we go back to green flag racing. So the green flag back out into the air. Here is Noah Carpenter able to quickly get a great launch right there. He's hoping that he can try to drive out in front, maybe put himself to the point here still and keep all these guys back there at bay. But the coach, he says, you know what, young gun, it's not going to be enough here this evening. I'm looking to try to take this race lead back away. So it's the power of the high side in the slide of the down low lane here to duke it out for position number 1 out there on the speedway, and it looks like that high side momentum in quarter 3 and 4 will pay off for this 18 ride. But here we go. Oh, the 18's gonna get a little piece of them right there as the pair of 18s at the front. The 18 there, the Scott Bloomquist ride, the JP Designs black, purple, and gold number 18 at Kyle Surratt. He had a little contact there into him. That almost took Noah Carpenter around, almost brought out another big caution flag here on the evening. But man, they are so tight together. So close to almost disaster each and every lap. All it takes is one wrong bump, one wrong corner, and you can ruin someone's night in a quick hurry as Carpenter continues to lead the way. It's Kyle Surratt there in second. Then we see 47 ride, Marcos Pace in third, Tyson Pankow back there in fourth. Cody Ernest rounding out our top 5 with T-Jack Tyler Jackson there in sixth. And then we see that is Jacob Bailey, Jackie Whaley, William Hargreaves, and Ryan Howard rounding out our top 10. And the caution flag will come back out here again. Looks like the 45, and I do believe the 92 going to get tied up in one again here. Let's take a look at it. The 45 sends it into corner number 3. Ooh, actually looks like the 357 getting a little loose right there. That's what gets this thing started. That's what gets this party started here this evening. Let's take a look at the 357 ride of Derek Rice. Is Rice going to try to run it into the corner deep here, looking for a big run in that doghouse chassis ride. As send it into the corner, gets a piece of the 5 ride right there, just loses the nose, and unfortunately car starts to go around on him. He's trying to get checked up, trying to catch it here, and unfortunately right there at the end, just going to get a little bit of contact, and that little bit of contact unfortunately going to take him around and bring that caution flag out. As you do see Jim Rivas right here. Jim even maybe getting a little contact out of that, but nonetheless able to slide around it, keep himself out of trouble. So doesn't Jeremy Akins, and Cody McCoy, and unfortunately here for Steven and his TNT Racing ride, nowhere for him to go. Tags that driver's side door of the 74 and punts him right into the inside wall there. And unfortunately, caution flag will fly once again, so we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here. Whole nother attempt at it, whole nother shot at trying to figure out a way to get to the front of the field here, as we're about halfway through this race. I do believe as we go back to green flag racing, lap 35 will be complete, and that's virtually our halfway marker here this evening. Probably a lap or so ago was probably the halfway marker, but nonetheless, we're just a little bit past it, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. And as we go back to green flag racing, we will jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers here this evening as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming for a big, big restart here this evening. Enjoy the sights and sounds around USA International Speedway with the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Circle Track Showdown. And look at that, we actually don't even have our overlay fully operational right now. Let's see if we can get that fixed up for us here. There we go. Let's get that fixed up there. There we go. That's better. That's better, chat. All right, here we go. Back to green flag racing and into our crank it up as they're 2, 3, 4 wide out there on the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer these drivers on. All right, caution flag is out. Yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag. So the crank it up caution flag curse will continue as let's take a look back and see what happens. Here's another yellow flag on the racetrack. We did see some issues here for Tim the Toolman Taylor. He was pretty sideways on the racetrack, but that's not going to be the caution flag. It's the 13 ride here. The Health and Gaming ride of Cody McCoy. As you see Tim Toolman Taylor kind of getting sideways, gets bounced around from the 11 to Kyle Moyer and trying to keep that thing pointed the right direction. Here comes Aikens down low. The 13 kind of right in the middle here, and I'm not sure where this is going to happen, but looks like he may wash up the track a little too far. The 92 is outside, and it looks like they may just run out of room right here. Yes, sirree, that's what happens. Run out of room, 92 into the wall. The 13 ride gets spun around. The 5 ride gets in there, gets a pretty good piece of it, but pretty solid damage there for Cody McCoy and for that 92 ride as both drivers get pretty tore up there. Heavy contact into the outside fence, and as the 13 comes back down the racetrack, oh, big hit right there for the 61 ride. That is Mr. Anderson getting a big, big hit right there. Heavy damage for that 61 machine, and another caution flag and another restart on the horizon for all these drivers. So we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to stack them up once again and figure out who's going to try to put themselves up and into victory lane as the Bloomquist ride at the point here. It is that number 18, Noah Carpenter out in front. Carpenter has the race lead. Kyle Surratt there in second. Marcos Pace up and into third. Tyson Pankow, Tyler Jackson, our top 5 out there on the racetrack. Then we see Cody Ernest, William Hargreaves, Jeremy Sexton, Jacob Bailey, and everybody else here rounding out the field, ready to rumble, ready to go back to battle here in this one as they're stacked up door to door to door once again, 2 wide throughout the field. Ready to see the green flag come back out. Ready to see these drivers rumble. Let's see if we can jump on with one of these drivers. See if we can jump on board here with Jackie Whaley. See what Whaley sees here from the cockpit as we'll go back to our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up here and get ready to go back to green flag racing. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, crank up that volume and cheer these drivers on. Alrighty, caution flag back out on the racetrack. Yellow flag, yellow flag. That will bring a close to our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up here this evening as the caution flag will be displayed once again. We'll take a look back and see what brings this caution flag out. Is obviously some contact and a couple of drivers getting tore up here once again. Let's see if we can take a look at it as, man, some pretty good hits there. And obviously we take a look back at the 88 ride here. The TNT Racing ride at Cody Ernest. Looks like Ernest Run into some problems right here. He's trying to keep that car pointing the right direction. It was sliding backwards here and sends it into the corner. Gets in there a little too deep. Ends up making some contact there with, man, a couple of drivers getting into him there afterwards as well. But looks like he's going to slide in there a little too far. Ends up getting into Kyle Moyer right here. So this is a big hit onto Kyle Moyer's ride as here comes Cody Ernest down to the inside, deep in there. Gets that bump in the corner one entry there and, fortunately gets a piece of Moyer, gets himself turned around, and everyone trying to avoid him. Great piece of driving right there by Jeremy Vaughn and Jim Rivas to avoid him. Then unfortunately for the 20 ride of Philip Sexton, not so lucky. Philip gets in there, gets a big piece of him there, gets turned around. Then you see Akins also slide in there. Akins just trying to get that thing checked up to avoid any additional contact, and unfortunately does get a little piece of him there, does get around himself, but that will just contribute to the caution flag that was already in the air. Now let's take a look at Philip Sexton here. Philip's going to send it in there and obviously just trying to keep himself out of it and just gets tagged right there and then up into the outside fence. And I do believe Philip is going to, oh man, looks like he's got some wheel issues here, some wheel problems there, and finally takes that car right down pit side here and off the racetrack. Heartbreaker there for Philip Sexton. So looks like he's taking that thing down pit side and potentially off of the speedway as well. So tough break there for him, and that means we'll get them all ready to rumble here once again. Another restart here. Another opportunity for drivers to try to navigate their way to the front of the field here this evening as 42 hanging on to the race lead. It is Noah Carpenter still out in front, still showing these drivers the way around here this evening. And then it's Marco's Pace there in second. Kyle Surratt back in third with Tyler Jackson now up into fourth. William Hargreaves and Tyson Pankow bring up row number 3. And then we see Cody McDonald, Jeremy Sexton, who's coming from the back of the pack towards the front of the field here for him. And then we see Ryan Howard, Kyle Moyer, Jeremy Vaughn, Jackie Whaley, William Klein, Jim Rivas. Jeremy Akins running at our top 15 as here we go back to green flag racing. Green flag back out into the air for Noah Carpenter. But look out, here comes a big run down to the inside for Marco's Pace. As Marco's looking for a big run down on the inside here. Going door to door down the back straightaway into core number 3. Look at the 18 right, how he sets that car in. Gets it hooked up on the top shelf. Looking for a big run. Trying to carry all that speed and momentum. But it's the 47 who's able to slide up in front of him and take that race lead away. So Marco's Pace now out in front. Can the 18 strike back and try to move that Scott Bloomquist inspired paint scheme back to the front of the field? As here comes the other 18, Kyle Surratt, the coach, right there in position number 3, and T-Jack, the Alpha Shark here, the Jurassic Shark, trying to work his way back up towards the front of the field. As T-Jack started in that pole position, fell back early, looked like he was trying to save a little tire there, trying to take it a little bit easy in that 8 ride and not wanting to put himself into a tough position. And now we see the one car up into the wall. Carpenter, look out. You don't want to do that too many times. That is going to lose a ton of speed, create a ton of damage for that 18 ride. So we'll have to keep an eye on Carpenter and see if that happens again, as that is definitely not the way you want things to go, and not how you want to enter these corners in. Man, that could have taken him out of this race in a quick hurry, so you'll have to be perfectly careful of that one. As again, looks like he's up against that wall, and the drivers aren't going to be very happy with it. I'm not sure if they're going to count that as wall riding or not, but I'm not sure if it's working for him either way, as right now he's falling backwards, and now you see that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson trying to figure out a way to get around him here as he rolls up the racetrack. Here comes the coach right into the mix. They're almost 3 wide down and out of car number 4 right there. Oh, baby. Things were getting tight in a quick hurry as here comes Hargreaves as well. William working his way up towards the front. The Grumpy Graphics Dirt Panda DWR, the Viv's Retail Liquor, number 71, Ryder Hargreaves. He's worked his way up inside the top 5. He is looking to pounce, looking to try to race his way up and into victory lane here this evening, as well as he is right there ready to pounce. Is what's good, whippersnapper Tony Whipperman. How are ya? Tony coming in showing the love over there on Facebook. Says, what's going on, man? How are you doing? I'm always doing good, Tony. I'm always doing good, especially when we get to see these dirt street stocks out there on the racetrack. As Sabo coming in, becoming a brand new follower over there on Facebook as well. Welcome to the Peacemaker family. Sabo, hopefully I'm saying that right, as Marco's Pace, though, has this race lead. He's pacing the field, and he sees them still battling back there behind him. Marco's really starting to open up a bit of an advantage out there on the speedways. The laps continue to click down. We inch closer and closer to the checkered flag. He's built about a 1.2 second lead between himself and Noah Carpenter. As Carpenter able to hang on to position number 2 here. T-Jack stays in 3rd, and they're all chasing down that 47 ride right now on the speedway. Surratt, the coach, hanging on to position number 4 with Hargreaves back there in 5th. Jeremy Sexton from the back of the pack, as you do see the 18 ride of Carpenter again. Hard up into the outside fence there. Oh, man, this is going to get tough. That's some pretty good contact. That's some pretty heavy damage that you can receive, and I don't understand how he hasn't really tore the fenders or knocked these wheels out of alignment, as he's really beating down that wall in quarter 1 and 2. We'll take another look at this ride as he sends it back in there. It gets a big run into the corner, sends it up into the fence, bounces it off the wall, scrubs it there pretty hard, rolls through it, but somehow or another able to keep that thing rolling that time, though he does lose quite a bit of time to that 8 ride, but gets a big run, and now he's onto the back bumper of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack sends it in there deep, slides up to the high side. Here comes the 18 back down low. Can T-Jack carry that speed and momentum to finally complete this pass and keep Noah Carpenter back there at bay? Looks like Carpenter going to stay right there with them. They hit that berm down into corner number 1. Each driver trying to carry that speed, momentum, and everyone's still trying to cut down Marco's paces. Marcos is loving this. Every single one of these drivers continuing to battle back there for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and on back there, and it's allowing this 47 just to run away with it. Is out in front. Marco's Pace with a absolutely massive race lead now, over 2 seconds here late in this race. Says Dirk coming in as well with that follow. How are you, Dirk? Dirk coming in, showing the love, dropping that follow over there on Facebook. Is Marcos with the race lead. T-Jack there in 2nd, as Kyle Surratt, Noah Carpenter now battling here, as there's Carpenter up against that fence once again, bouncing it off that wall, able to keep his foot in the throttle, carries all that speed and momentum, and unfortunately, though, getting into that fence, starting to scrub off some speed, and he falls back now into position number 4. So unfortunately, playing that wall game, scrubbing that outside wall, sometimes it can help you, sometimes it can hurt you, and right now it's really starting to slow him down. As now here comes Hargreaves looking down to the inside. Will trying to poke his nose up inside the top 4 as Carpenter may slide back into that 5th position, and that's a great sign for Jeremy Sexton. Sexton would love to work his way back inside the top 5. Tyson Pankow right there as well. Tyson would try to work his way back inside the top 5 here late in this race, as Marco's Pace with that race lead. A 2.4 second gap between himself and Tyler Jackson. The last thing Marcos wants to see is a caution flag. He wants to see this stay clean and green. Is down at a corner number 4, back down across the line. He will see 5 more laps left to go. So 5 more laps left here in this one for Marcos Pace to try to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening, as Marcos has that race lead and continues to grow that gap here. T-Jack doesn't look like he's got anything left in the tank for him here, as the Jurassic Shark DWRL ride back in position number 2. Continue to lose time to that 47. Kyle Surratt, the coach, rolls there in position number 3, as you still see Carpenter and that 71 of Hargreaves battling here for position number 4, as the 18 down to the inside hits that berm, unfortunately washes up the racetrack here, gets up to that cushion, able to put his foot back in the throttle, trying to carry some speed and momentum, but here comes Hargreaves once again back down to his inside. So Will looking to try to have another shot at taking over position number 4, as the 18 gets up into the outside fence, able to keep it rolling, as the 71 down low, just staying true to that bottom line. I figured we would have saw him maybe try to pull a big slide job or something here late in the race, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. And for Tyler Jackson, T-Jack starting to slide back here a little bit. He was able to open up a sizable gap between himself and Kyle Surratt, but really nowhere to be seen here is that 47 right on Marco's Pace, as Marco's just absolutely gone here. 3.5 second lead now between himself and the Alpha Shark out there on the racetrack, as the 47 sends it down into corner number 1, nice and easy, down and through corner number 2. With only 2 more laps left to go down the back straightaway here, it is Marco's Pace, as Johnny Rowley says over under on how many times he's hit the wall. Oh baby, it's gotta be over 15 times, I gotta say. USA. It's got to be over that. As here we go, Pace down across the line. We'll see that white flag fly. So no late race caution flag to take the 47 out of his opportunity to punch his ticket into victory lane here at USA International Speedway with the Dirt Warrior Racing League Circle Track Showdown as Marcos Pace for the final time here this evening, down through 3 and out of corner number 4 with a 4-second lead. It's Marcos Pace all the way from Australia to victory lane here at USA International Speedway as Marcos Pace picks up the checkered flag here this evening in his beautiful Sexton Payton body. Number 47 ride, that doghouse chassis machine, putting himself up and into victory lane. What a run, what a drive, and what a performance there for that 47. Holding off Tyler Jackson, holding off Hargraves as Hargraves able to work himself up and into third here late in the race as Kyle Surratt, the coach, slides back to fourth. Jeremy Sexton up inside the top 5. Carpenter slides back to 6th with Tyson Pankow. Kyle Moyer, Jackie Whaley, Cody McDonald, our top 10 out there on the racetrack. As here comes our race leader up and into victory lane as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. If you're watching over on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, become part of the Peacemaker family here today as the Cocky Floyd Consulting 47 ride. Marcos Pace picks up the checker flag and pulls himself up and into victory lane here at the beautiful USA International Speedway as Michael King says that was some good racing, some great racing there. The late race green flag run, man, that was much needed to save today, man. That was a lot of fun. That was some absolutely amazing racing as our boy Jordan Gage. What's good, Jordan? Jordan coming in says, Cocky Floyd Consulting, fire, baby, fire for the Cocky Floyd team there, as they're able to pull off another dub here this evening with Jordan coming in with the like on the stream. Mr. Ratley coming in as well with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. Yeah, definitely some great racing there, Mr. King. And as Just Viv says, congratulations, William. Now that was tight. Yeah, that was definitely tight there for that third position. Tight battle back to the line. Hargreaves just able to steal that third spot away from Kyle Surratt, the coach, here this evening, as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the booth here for some post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Marcos Pace, here this evening. Let's get him up into the booth. Hey, Marcos, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, got me.
Marcos, man, what a run, what a drive, brother. Take us back through this one as you're finally able to put yourself up and into victory lane here this evening with the Dirt Warrior Racing League Circle Track Showdown.
Yeah. Well, I just actually like to thank Jim the most because the first server that we had, obviously we didn't have enough fuel, so we couldn't run the race, but I didn't qualify. I messed both my laps up in that server, so I was starting way back at the back. So that second server sort of saved me and qualified up the front and sort of just was able to save tyre while maintaining track position early on, which was really helpful, and I'm really glad I could do that. And then yeah, just sort of bided at my time. I knew, I'm sure it was Noah, used his stuff up a little bit to get to the front, and I knew I just had to wait. And yeah, with that last yellow, I'm like, all right, it's time to go. Got a bit of tyre to save, so yeah, used that, got to the front, and then yeah, basically just didn't look back.
Yeah, absolutely did not look back. Able to grow a big lead there. Where you're getting a little nervous, though. Obviously, late in the race, anything can happen. A late race caution flag can come out, and you knew that, you know, drivers like William Hargreaves, Tyler Jackson back there, even Kyle Surratt were right up inside the top 5. Were trying to hunt you down, trying to run you down here late in this race, and maybe, you know, saving some tires early on. But there are probably 10-15 laps to go in this race. We saw T-Jack battling hard with Noah to get around him. Finally was able to get around around him. You had only about a second and a half lead or so, a second lead between yourself and T-Jack, and we thought it was on like Donkey Kong. We thought he was going to hunt you down and watch you two duke it out, but it was absolutely wrong as you just continued to pull farther and farther and farther away from him, man. Like, take us back, what was kind of going through your mind right there as you were able to kind of outrun some of the best of the business here this evening?
Well, yeah, just on that final restart, yeah, obviously got up to second. I got past Surratt on the restart earlier, and yeah, got myself up to second. And last restart come out, got a good restart. I think Surratt and T-Jack also got a really good restart that last restart, and yeah, we sort of, I can't really remember too much on the restart, but I just remember getting to the lead, and yeah, obviously T-Jack and Noah were battling for a little bit, and then I saw, yeah, T-Jack get in front of Noah, and I was like, all right, head down and just go, because I knew T-Jack's quick. I know he's taken a little bit of a break, and he's only recently just come back, but I knew he was quick, and yeah, it was sort of just, I had to put my head down and be consistent, and yeah, that's what I was, and the gap just seemed to grow, and yeah, obviously just did a really good job of saving tires and maintaining the track position that allowed me to, yeah, finally get up here and get up in the winner's circle with you.
Yeah, absolutely. First time, I do believe, now into the winner's circle here on Wednesday nights with us, man. Obviously picking up some wins in the Monday series, and when we had the Friday series as well, getting some wins there, but you're finally able to get one now on the main broadcast, and man, that's got to feel good. Kind of get that monkey off your back and finally punch your ticket up and into victory lane.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah, I think I've won 3 out of the 4 Monday nights we've had in the Circle Track Showdown. So really good on Monday night, but just yeah, can never seem to put it together on a Wednesday. So it's really good to finally get my first Wednesday win and yeah, have that prestige of the Wednesday night win. So yeah, it's really good with that. And yeah, it's Wednesday night. It's just better. It's just a better field. I know, obviously, Wednesday night being Wednesday night, it does produce a better field, but yeah, obviously, it is really nice to finally be able to beat some of those really big names like T-Jack and Surratt, and even yeah, just all the guys that make it possible. And yeah, I'd like to thank Jim and everyone at DWR that puts it on and continues to support the Dirt Street Stock community with everything that they do for us. So really thankful to those guys for what they do for us. I'd like to thank you for the broadcast once again. I know I haven't had the greatest Wednesday nights recently, but it's good to be back up here with you and finally up in the winner's circle for the first time. So yeah, it's a good feeling, and I'd like to thank all my guys at Cocky Floyd and the Kennel. JZ Floyd, obviously, just a legend and great guy. Love the guy. Yeah, he's amazing. Jeremy Sexton, Philip Sexton, Derek Rice, Seth Castle, yeah, all the other boys. Sorry that I forgot, but yeah, all you guys, I love you all. So yeah, thanks to everyone.
Beauty. Well, a hell of a run, hell of a race for you here tonight, Marcos. Congratulations on the checkered flag. Hopefully, many, many more for you to come here on Wednesday nights. Many trips up here into the booth and into victory lane here over the rest of this series, and then all the other series coming up here for the Dirt Warrior Racing League as well. That will be up in the booth calling, and obviously many more trips up here to have some post-race conversations with myself.
Yeah, no, I hope I can continue the momentum that I'm gathering and yeah, hopefully see you up here a few more times and more consistently, hopefully.
Absolutely, brother. Consistency is key. Marcos, congratulations on the win here tonight in the Circle Track Showdown with the Dirt Warrior Racing League here at USA International Speedway, brother. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday and hopefully right back up here into victory lane.
Yeah, hopefully. And yeah, thank you.
Beauty, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Marcos Pace as Marcos picks up the checkered flag here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 47 machine. As we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finishers, the 8 ride, Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, coming home here in position number 2. Let's get him up into the booth. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the booth to get a copy. Tyler! D-Jack, can you hear me? I don't know why his thing is messed up. Oh, now we can hear him and we pulled him out. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my Discord.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's definitely weird. I know we had to drag in and out there a few times. Finally, we got it to work. D-Jack, second place run here this evening, man. Obviously, a second opportunity at qualifying. You're able to nail it, put yourself onto the pole here. Trying to save there throughout the start of this race. Kind of slid back into 7th, and then slowly but surely working your way back up there. Then obviously a tight battle for position number 2 late in this race between you and Noah. You guys duked it out there for quite a little while, and it looked like potentially burning up your stuff and allowing Marcos to build quite a bit of lead there, where by the time you finally cleared him, you just did not have enough time to hunt down that 47 ride. Obviously, Marcos just keeping his foot in the throttle, continued to pull farther and farther away. What was kind of going through your mind there late in this race as you were kind of stuck in second and had really nowhere to go?
Yeah, I went too hard the first, 10 to 15 laps. Surratt was all over me, and I should have just let him go right away. And then, yeah, he was pushing really hard, and I didn't realize that him and Marcos both kind of jumped that berm or jumped that infield grass on the way into one. I didn't realize that until they both went by me. But yeah, I should let those guys go sooner. If I would have saved the first 15 laps, like I saved probably 15 to 40 or 45, we've been better off. But I don't know if there had been anything I could have done with the way Marcos was hitting that infield grass. I mean, I've seen people do it, but usually sooner or later it ends up biting you. But he did a really good job of landing it, and maybe he should go run some off-road trucks or something.
Yeah, definitely getting that big jump there, going through the grass and sliding it down low, carrying a ton of speed down through corner number 1, and everything else there potentially, helping him out, building that big lead and taking this race lead and picking up the win here this evening. But yeah, we've seen drivers many times before do that move, and a lot of times it works out, and a lot of times it doesn't work out when either you drive it in there too deep and you wash up into the outside fence and get quite a bit of damage, or even sometimes to clip that inside wall. It's a very, very scary line to take out there, and late in this race, I mean, Marcos wasn't holding back out there, rolling that line.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. I'm sure they said the guys in Discord said he did the same thing Monday night and hit it perfect every lap too. So obviously he's got it figured out. I don't know if he's braking. I don't know if he's braking when he's hitting the jump or whatever he's doing. It's working. I mean, it's kind of weird to follow because it kind of throws you off. You actually see his left tires come off the ground, and every time he does it, you're like wondering if he's going to stick the landing. But he did a good job. Yeah, I don't think I could have done any more. If I'd have saved the first 15 laps, maybe would have had something, but I still would have needed a caution because he was stretching me at the end, and I was running as hard as I could. So, yeah, congrats to him. And yeah, I thought those guys that were coming by me were going to burn their stuff up. I was really surprised with the guy that was leading the red car. I mean, he held the lead for a long time running the top, and at the very end, his stuff must have went away too.
Yeah, Noah Carpenter there, obviously, yeah, very fast up on that high side, and then slowly but surely started to fade back there and bouncing it off the wall quite a few times as well, probably damaging that car, making it even tougher to drive there late in this race. And unfortunately for him, slid back, but allows you to slide up here into second, and then trying to hunt down that 47 ride, hoping to see that late race caution flag. Unfortunately, no yellow flag, and you have to settle in for a second place run here this evening. Tyler, who'd you like to thank again for another amazing run and amazing race here at the Dirt Warrior Racing League in the Circle Track Showdown?
Yeah, we'll take a second. I mean, we haven't been on much. I don't think we've turned it on in a month and a half, so I'm pretty happy to still be up front, fighting for a win. Got to thank all the guys at DWR for putting the league on and just continuing this going. I know there's been a lot of drama. It seems like while I was gone, but I know these guys they run a series as fair as they can, and until you've ran a series, I've ran a couple money races. It's not all fun and games. So hopefully some of the people that are running these series start to respect them, whether it's our series or someone else's. If everyone causes a lot of drama, no one wants to even put a race on. I mean that's what happened with me. I got burnt out on it. We haven't put a race on since March, so gonna have one again here probably maybe September. We're thinking do something different. And yeah, thanks to everybody and for watching, tuning in. Thanks to Tommy Gun Customs for the Jurassic Shark. We gonna start a new series next Tuesday, and we got a really cool idea. I think a lot of people will get a good kick out of it. So he'll have that ready next week, and we'll try to go points racing on Tuesdays.
There we go. A little points racing, a little good action. That should be a lot of fun, brother. Hopefully, maybe we'll catch a couple of those shows or something like that. But nonetheless, Jack, great run. Great race here this evening, brother. We can't wait to see you back in action. Hopefully next Wednesday as well here with the Circle Track Showdown, and maybe one spot better next Wednesday night and back up into Victory Lane for the Jurassic Shark.
All right, thank you. I'm about to go watch this broadcast.
Beauty. Tyler, enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
Yep. Have a good night. We'll see you.
See you, mister. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Mr. Tyler Jackson. T-Jack comes home in position number 2 here this evening. The Jurassic Shark, they're in second as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place driver. The number 71 is William Hargreaves. Hargreaves comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Will, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, Aaron, I got you.
Well, man, heck of a run, heck of a drive here, man. Obviously, early on, trying to save some tire late in this race, slowly but surely working yourself up and through the top 5. But some tight passes, some tough battles out there. Obviously, trying to get around, Kyle Surratt, trying to get around Noah Carpenter there late in this race. And slowly but surely, you're able to jump up there and right down across the line. Tight battle there, beating Kyle Surratt back to the point here to be able to come home in position number 3 here this evening, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to steal that third spot away from Kyle.
Yeah, it was a good night for this 71 machine for sure. We've been all over the board, the struggle board, the whatever board, and so to get a third tonight is good. But excuse my French here a little bit, but I think I'm finally starting to get that pussyfooting thing down a little more and more, and saving them tires. And those guys up front early, I knew they were going to run out of tire. Some of them guys, the way they were running so hard, and I just kept telling myself, just keep doing what you're doing. And I was really hoping for a late race caution with all the other cautions we had, but it didn't happen. And Marcos, he made a heck of a restart on that last restart, and he was really able to get away and just go. And I got stuck racing with Kyle and Noah and those guys, and a great battle, but just allowed Tyler to keep pulling away as well there. But it was a good race overall for sure.
Yeah, some great races, some great battles out there. Obviously, quite a few caution flags, early on through the middle of that race, but it kind of just played to the strategy here and what you guys were doing. Also, we saw Marcos trying to ride there for a little bit, T-Jack, yourself, and obviously those drivers that you talked about early on, hard on the throttle, running quick lap times up there at the front of the field, and it was really all for naught as late in this race they just fell farther and farther back, and unfortunately not getting the finishes that they probably wanted, and it allowed obviously Marcos to jump up and steal this win, and T-Jack and yourself to round out our podium here this evening.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, you can gamble and you can burn them up, and sometimes it can work out for you, especially if their caution doesn't come out or something like that. But I've just it seems I've just seen it too many times where the late race caution comes out, and there's always some sitting duck sitting there just waiting for waiting for the green flag to come back out. So, like I said, I mean, it goes either way, but yeah, I just feel more comfortable playing the waiting game, and tonight it worked out.
Yeah, it works out pretty nicely up on the podium again here for that 71 machine. Will, who would you like to thank here this evening for another podium run in your fairly historic iRacing career?
Yeah, and I got to thank you for doing a kick-ass broadcast as always. Like to thank Viv's Retail Liquor. Uh, I got to thank all the DWR guys putting these races on, continuing to do something for the street stock community, and just even even just to come and hang out with them. It's really been a good time, and I appreciate them guys kind of taking me in with everything that's went on, like Billy and Blake, busy lives and doing other stuff, and so it's been really good that way. I thank those guys a lot. They're good, great people. Yeah, and I guess that's probably about it for now as far as thanking people. But hopefully I can get back up here and talk to you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Hopefully many more trips here up and into the booth, and maybe one of these nights back up and into victory lane, as it seems like you kind of got the tires figured out now. You got that wheel figured out as well. That was, hindering you there for quite a while, and now kind of getting, your foot back under you, getting that hot steering wheel again, and many, many more trips back up here into the booth for yourself, Mr. Will.
Yeah, man, it's been quite a long time. I don't know if I can get a win, but it ain't for a lack of trying. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely, brother. Well, hopefully we can see you trying again for another podium or race win here next Wednesday as the Circle Track Showdown will be back in action, and hopefully we'll see you right back out there duking it out next week.
Sounds good, Aaron. Have yourself a wonderful evening, man.
You
Thank
as well,
you.
brother. You as well. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, William Hargreaves. As Hargreaves comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Great run, great drive there for that 71 ride. Unfortunately, though, that is going to do it for us here this evening, man. Some absolutely amazing racing action. These guys put on an absolute show for us here this evening, man. That was outstanding, and that was a ton of fun. Lap after lap after lap here this evening, and we can't thank you guys enough. All the fans in the stands tuning in, showing the love here throughout the evening. All the likes, the comments, the shares, man. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here this evening. If you haven't already, it's not too late to do. It helps us out a ton as well. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream for us right now. Whether you're watching on Facebook, watching over on YouTube, make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream. Hit that subscribe button as well. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. If you haven't already, turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming, as we'll be back in action. We'll be back to Green Flag Racing again tomorrow night. More racing here tomorrow evening as well for our Hyper Shift Racing League. So going to be some more fun, some more great action and racing battling here on Peacemaker Gaming tomorrow evening, and we don't want to see you guys miss any of that action. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Don't miss a single lap of Green Flag Racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, and make sure, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy your day tomorrow, and we'll see you guys back up here on the grandstands tomorrow night. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love. Enjoy your evening, chat. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you guys back out here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Engines rumble, primal roar, putting us to the test. Helmets on, we're all strapped in, trying to do our best. From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father track showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed.